Measures of center is going to be our first lesson in Chapter 3. You're familiar with 3 of the 4 measures of center that we'll discuss. The 4th one will be new to you, and it'll have a formula to it, so please make sure you're paying special attention to that one. First of all, the mean, the average of the set of data that you're working with. There's a symbol in the graphing calculator. It's called X bar. So when you're dealing with sets of data in the graphing calculator, X bar will be your mean of the data. To find the mean, you take all your scores and add them up, and then you divide by the number of scores that you have. The critical part of the mean to remember is that the mean tends to be the most reliable measure of center. It's not always the most reliable, but it tends to be the most reliable most often. The median score is the middle value of any set of data that's arranged in numerical order. To find the median, make sure you first arrange the scores in numerical order. If you have an odd number of scores, simply take the middle score as your median score. And if you have an even number of scores, you want to take the mean of the 2 middle scores. The mode is the most frequently occurring score in a set of data. You're familiar with mode and most. If 2 scores occur the most, the data is said to be bimodal. When you have more than 2 scores having the highest frequency of occurrence, that data is said to be multimodal. The mid-range is the center score that you are unfamiliar with. The mid-range is a value that's midway between the minimum and maximum values in the original set of data. You might think that's very similar to the median, but the difference is that the median typically is one of your data scores, whereas the mid-range is not necessarily one of your data scores. The formula for finding your mid-range is to add the maximum and minimum values in the scores and divide that by 2. In essence, you're taking the average of the maximum and minimum score. Here's an example for you to do. Here's a set of data. It has 10 scores. I want you to find the mean, the median, the mode, and the mid-range of that set of data. Let's take a look at the results. Start with the mean. You want to add all the scores up, the 10 scores. You end up with 44. And dividing by 10 gives you 4.4 as your mean. The median score, when you put them in numerical order, you do have an even number of scores, and you want to average the 5th and 6th score in this case. That's 3 and 4, so 3.5 becomes your average of the 2 middle scores, and that becomes your median value. We have 3 modes in this set of data. We have 0, 3, and 8 occurring twice, so this would be trimodal set of data. The mid-range, we want to take the highest value, which is 9, add it to the lowest value, which is 0, and divide by 2. 9 divided by 2 gives me 4.5. Your homework in this section is textbook page 94, numbers 1 to 10 all.